The old townsfolk gathered at dusk, their hearts heavy with unspoken fears. Their faces, etched with worry, reflected the dying light, casting long shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of their own. Whispers, hushed and urgent, passed between them, each word a thread in a tapestry of dread. They spoke of shadows, unseen presences that lingered in the twilight, haunting their every step. Something darkened the doorways and haunted the ancient streets, a malevolent force that seemed to breathe with the night. These were not tales for the faint of heart, but grim realities that the townsfolk could not escape. They were whispers of the restless dead, souls who had not found peace and now sought to share their torment. These whispers spoke of a chilling truth, a truth that gnawed at the edges of sanity. A darkness had settled over the town, a palpable presence that seemed to consume the very air. It whispered of a time when young women were trapped, their lives stolen by the shadows that now haunted the town. They were servants, their lives spent in the shadows of grand houses, unseen and unheard. But these shadows held more than just dust and secrets. They held the weight of untold stories and forgotten sorrows. They held the echoes of pain, of dreams stifled and lives cut short, a haunting reminder of the past that refused to be forgotten. Old journals and letters hidden away in dusty attics revealed the hidden truths, the stories of those who had suffered in silence. The townsfolk huddled together, sharing their fears and hoping for a dawn that might never come. A single candle flickered in the darkness, a fragile beacon of hope against the encroaching night. Shadows danced on the walls, their movements a sinister ballet that told of the unseen forces at play. As the town's clock tower struck midnight, the whispers grew louder, a chorus of the lost and the damned. The moon cast an eerie glow over the town, illuminating the faces of those who dared to listen to the whispers in the dark. The grand houses stood tall, monuments to wealth and privilege. Inside, young women toiled, their lives a blur of endless chores. They were servants, their own dreams pushed aside. These women yearned for a life beyond the drudgery. They longed for love, for freedom, for a moment to call their own. But their days were filled with back-breaking labor. Their nights offered little respite. They slept in cramped attics or damp cellars, the cold seeping into their bones. They were invisible to their employers, their voices unheard, their stories untold. They were trapped in a gilded cage, their spirits slowly breaking under the weight of their burdens. Emily was different. She had a spirit that refused to be broken. She was young, with eyes that sparkled with kindness and a smile that could light up a room. Even in the darkness of her circumstances, her spirit shone brightly. But Emily was not immune to the cruelty of her situation. She worked in the grandest mansion in town, her days filled with endless chores and harsh treatment. She endured the cruel words and punishments meted out by her mistress. Still, she clung to hope, dreaming of a brighter future. One night, a storm raged, lashing the town with wind and rain. The mansion shook with each gust, the shadows dancing ominously on the walls. That night, Emily vanished. Her room was found empty, her few belongings untouched. Some whispered that she had finally reached her breaking point and fled into the night. Others spoke of darker possibilities. They murmured that her body lay hidden within the very walls she had so diligently cleaned. The truth remained elusive, lost in the storm's fury. But something had shifted that night. A new presence lingered in the shadows. The shadows in the mansion deepened. Candle flames flickered, casting grotesque shapes on the walls. Footsteps echoed in empty hallways. Soft whispers filled with a deep sorrow seemed to emanate from the very air itself. The mansion, once a place of grandeur, now held an unsettling chill. Emily was not the only one. Other young women, their spirits broken by endless toil and cruelty, vanished without a trace. Their stories mirrored Emily's, their lives cut short, their dreams unfulfilled, and like Emily, their presence lingered. They became the shades, spectral echoes of a life unjustly taken. The shades were not silent in their sorrow. They made their presence known, not with violence but with a chilling insistence. Household items moved mysteriously as if guided by unseen hands. Cryptic messages scrawled in dust or watermarks appeared on mirrors and windows. Their messages spoke of pain, of anger, of a desperate need for their stories to be heard. They were warnings, whispered on the wind, chilling reminders that the past could not be buried. The shades were trapped, bound to the places of their suffering. They watched, waited, and remembered. The Harrisons, a wealthy family new to town, purchased the mansion, oblivious to its dark history. Mrs. Harrison, known for her sharp tongue and crueler punishments, dismissed the stories of the shades as mere superstition. She would soon learn the true cost of her arrogance. One night, as Mrs. Harrison lay in her opulent bed, she was awoken by the sound of soft weeping. She sat up, her heart pounding in her chest. A cold draft swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging her into darkness. Her dolls, meticulously arranged on a shelf, had been rearranged in a grotesquely lifelike tableau. Then she felt it, a cold hand brushing lightly against her cheek. Section 8. Unsettled Spirits. The Harrisons fled the mansion that night, their terror a testament to the power of the shades. But the hauntings continued. Each new family that dared to inhabit the mansion was met with the same chilling occurrences. The shades refused to be silenced. Renovations proved futile. Walls crumbled, fires erupted, accidents plagued the workers. The mansion seemed to resist any attempt to erase its past. The shades were bound to the house, their energy woven into its very fabric. Their presence served as a chilling reminder of the darkness that lingered within its walls. Section 9. Seeking Solace, Finding Sorrow. Some, seeking to understand the shades' torment, attempted to communicate with them. They held seances, used Ouija boards, and whispered prayers into the darkness. They hoped to offer solace, to help the shades find peace. But their efforts were met with an outpouring of sorrow so profound that it chilled the soul. The shades were trapped, their pain echoing through the years. They longed for their stories to be told, for their suffering to be acknowledged. But true peace remained elusive. They were tethered to the mortal realm, their spirits unable to move on until justice was served. Section 10. Sentinels of Justice. The shades of servant girl spirits are not mere ghost stories whispered around campfires to elicit chills. They are echoes of a past that refuses to be silenced, lingering in the corners of our collective memory. They are sentinels of justice, their presence a chilling reminder that the past can never truly be buried. These spirits stand as guardians watching over the places where they once lived and suffered, ensuring that their stories are not forgotten. They stand guard over the places of their suffering, their whispers a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Their presence is a silent protest against the injustices they endured, a call to remember and to learn from the past. They remind us that every life has value, that every voice deserves to be heard. In their silent vigil, they speak volumes about the importance of acknowledging every individual's worth, regardless of their status or position in life. They challenge us to confront the darkness in our own history, to acknowledge the suffering of the forgotten and the marginalized. Their presence is a stark reminder that we must face the uncomfortable truths of our past to build a more just and equitable future. They urge us to break the cycle of oppression, to create a world where every individual is treated with dignity and respect. These spirits call on us to be better, to strive for a world where justice is not just an ideal, but a reality for all. In their haunting presence, we find a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for justice. They are not just ghosts, they are the Sentinels of Justice, forever watching, forever reminding us of the work that still needs to be done. Section 11. The Shades. Remember. So the next time you find yourself in an old house, feel a sudden chill, or hear a whisper when you know you're alone, remember the shades. These are not just figments of your imagination, but echoes of the past, lingering in the corners of forgotten rooms and abandoned hallways. Remember the young women whose lives were cut short, their dreams left unfulfilled. They were once vibrant souls, full of hope and aspirations, who met untimely ends. Their shadows are not just mere silhouettes, but imprints of their existence, a silent testimony to their unspoken stories. Listen to their stories, honor their memory, and never forget the price of their silence. Each flicker of the candlelight, each creak of the floorboards, carries a fragment of their tale. They speak of love lost, of dreams shattered, and of a yearning for justice that transcends time. The shades are watching, waiting, remembering. They are the silent guardians of the past, keeping vigil over the places they once called home. Their presence is a reminder that the past is never truly gone, but lives on in the shadows, waiting to be acknowledged. They are a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, a haunting reminder that even in death, the fight for justice continues. Their shadows dance in the flickering light, a symbol of resilience and an unyielding will to be heard. Their presence serves as a chilling warning and a solemn call to action. They urge us to remember the past, to learn from it, and to ensure that the injustices they suffered are never repeated. Their whispers in the dark are not just eerie sounds, but calls for empathy and change. They urge us to create a world where their stories are no longer whispers in the dark, but beacons of hope, illuminating a path towards a more just and compassionate future. Let their shadows guide us. Let their memories inspire us. And let their stories be the light that leads us towards a better tomorrow.